Curtis Calhoun here with MMA News, and got to check in with my next guest. He's getting ready to headline the opening card of the PFL regular season. Marlon Moraes joins me today. How's it going, Marlon?
Man, everything's good, man. I'm happy, excited for this big fight, big card, first one of the year. And man, I could ask for a better opportunity in fighting Vegas, fighting a great opponent, a champion, and for a great promotion. Let's go, man. Let's get it done and let's do what we are planning to do. Go out there and shock the world.
Absolutely, man. And I remember last time we talked, I think it was right after your PFL signing was announced, and we talked a little bit about kind of the community aspect of the PFL. So getting the chance to headline this first PFL card of the year, what does that mean to you in terms of having a promotion really have faith in you and value you enough to have you headline a card like this?
Man, it's a pleasure, I've been with them since the beginning, and I had my shot at the UFC, and coming back to them and being treated this way and facing a high caliber opponent in the first event, like a first PFL season show. And it's amazing, man. I'm very happy. I'm excited. I'm putting all on the line, and that's not a better opportunity I could ask for.
And how big is that as a fighter to have an opponent like Brendan Loughnane, who always brings exciting fights? Obviously, I know you. We've talked about how important it is for you to put on a show. I mean, how big is that for you to have an opponent who is going to who's going to bring an exciting fight?
Man, it's me, it's Marlon against Brandon. So who likes to watch my fights? No, it's never a boring fight. And who likes to watch Brandon knows it's never a boring fight. So matching up me and him, one thing it's for sure gonna happen. We're gonna have the best fight of the night. We both gonna try knock each other out. And who's gonna win with that is the fans. That's all. That's what they like to watch. They like to watch guys that get in there and fight, and that's what we're gonna do.
And I think if I remember correctly, it's been a while since you fought in Las Vegas, right? So how exciting is that for you to return to Las Vegas with all the history there? Does that add any extra excitement to it?
It's a whole package, fighting for the PFL number one and fighting a champion like Brandon and in Las Vegas, that's amazing, and having such a great preparation like I'm having, and I can't wait for April 1st. We are 3 weeks to be there, and I can't wait.
Some of the other former UFC fighters that I've talked to who've made their way to the PFL, like Thiago Santos, Aspen Ladd, fighters like that, they've talked to me about how the PFL feels like a community. And the UFC, while it's a community in itself, it's more like a business, if that makes sense. So have you gotten that sense from the PFL in terms of having that community aspect and having the PFL really look out for the fighters and look after them and value them?
Yeah, 100%. They're looking out of us, and they know they have to do something different, not just for the fighters but for the fans, because people are bored. We know, like, I love MMA, but every week a show. Sometimes we turn on the TV and we don't even know who is fighting. It's not it's not quantity. It's about quality, and the PFL, and I believe they want to have a quality shows. The seasons are, we all know we're gonna fight 2 times, that's 10 fighters, and then 4 guys gonna qualify, and then we're gonna have the final, and then we're gonna have the champion. Everyone stepping April 1st have a chance to be a champion on the end of the year. For other promotions, maybe you're gonna win 10 fights and you're never gonna fight for the title. I think in the PFL, the guys always have the same chances. You don't depend on certain people to decide about your future. You decide your own future. Say that you will decide your destiny, and that's it.
Absolutely, man. And looking at this fight with Brendan Loughnane, stylistically, how do you see this from a style versus style matchup for you?
Brandon is a great striker, you know. He been facing good wrestlers, and against the wrestlers, his striking being like amazing, you know. He's being able to touch them, but we'll see against me, you know. I can do it all, and I want to surprise him with my speed, and I believe I got the tools to beat him. He's a good fighter. I have a lot of respect for him, but I'm going out there to win.
I watched your fight with Sheymon Moraes yesterday as I was getting ready for this interview. One thing that really stood out was your wrestling really showcased in that fight. Obviously, you're known as a striker, but your wrestling really stood out in that fight as well. So, kind of talk to me a little bit about your development of that aspect of your game. Do you feel like it doesn't get enough respect?
Yeah, man, I evolve a lot in my wrestling. I feel stronger at 45, especially. And but we can't forget about the striking as well. In that fight, I focus too much on the grappling. You know, I believe I to beat Chamo, I don't even need my wrestling. I could beat him in the striking, but I just went to the easy way. You know, it's hard. You under pressure. Like my last few fights, I lost, so I won't win. You know, I sometimes you don't want to make it pretty. You want to win, and that's how I went to that fight. But man, to be honest, I'm going out there to be the best version of Marlon. You know, you see the striker, you see the grappling. We never know what's gonna happen on the end of the day. But one thing for sure, you guys gonna watch. You're gonna watch the best Marlon, and the fight will be amazing.
When you look at that last fight against Sheymon Moraes, what stands out to you? And because the first couple rounds, you looked great, you looked dominant, you were controlling the pace and the feet and on the ground, and then you just got caught in that third round. So I mean, and that's the fight game sometimes. So when you look back on that fight, what do you take away and what did you learn from that whole matchup?
Man, my preparation was amazing. My cardio felt amazing, and even wrestling, doing something in my mind was gonna be hard for me to do for the 3 rounds, because man, I'm a striker, you know. Sometimes you always have that thing in the back of your mind, man. If I wrestle all the fight, I might get tired, you know, and I might get slow. But I did it, you know. And I just was on the third round, I just decided to exchange punches with him in the wrong moment. I got caught. To be honest with you, I was super dominant on the grappling, and I felt like the judge should let me grapple a little more. Not because I was hurt or not hurt, but if this guy is such a better grappler, he just got knocked down. He's trying to grapple the guy. Let's see what's gonna happen, you know. But it is what it is. I'm not the one that's gonna come here and gonna take away from Chamo victory. I am the one that's gonna look up to that and not gonna let that happen again. Gonna work hard. Hats off to this guy. You know, I'm moving forward. I got a tough challenge against me, and I wanna put all, make a blend, and win my next one.
Having the second straight fight at 145 pounds, talk to me a little bit about how big of a difference you feel in your body in terms of not worrying as much about the weight cut as you did at bantamweight and focusing more on your training and preparation. How big is that for you?
Yeah, I just said, there's no concern in my mind, you know, like, am I gonna get tired? I'm not gonna get tired, because that's the body I have right now. That's the body that I'm gonna fight. That's not how I used to do at 35. I was a guy training, and I was another person fighting. So in the last few fights. So I feel great, and I know I'm ready for a great performance.
Absolutely, man. A couple more questions for me. Once again, I really do appreciate the time. It's always great checking in with you. Obviously, in the UFC, we have a big fight coming up between Aljamain Sterling and Henry Cejudo. A couple of guys you've faced in the past in the UFC. How do you see that matchup playing out?
Man, that's an intriguing matchup, you know, and they're both tough guys, two legends in my opinion. I think Sterling don't get the credit he deserves. In my opinion, he's one of the best pound for pound fighters now, and he's not the best striker, but he finds a way to beat strikers. He finds a way with his length to keep guys away with the kicks. And I just see a tough challenge for Henry. I see Sterling is a big guy, tall. His wrestling is just as good as Henry. His grappling is better than Henry. I think he's long and striking wise. I don't think he's gonna be able to go on Sterling's range. If he do so, I believe they might get to a grappling exchange. And I just think Sterling is a better fighter, and he's gonna win.
I got you, man. Last question for me. What's your message to the PFL fans as we kick off the 2023 season? What kind of Marlon Moraes are we going to see in 2023?
2023 will be very interesting. Great season, great fighters, and the fans gotta be ready to see their champions losing and to see surprises, and we're gonna change, man. This season, we are gonna get there, and I'm going to get the belt and win the championship this year.
I love it. Well, Marlon, it's always great to chat with you. All the best with these final few weeks of camp, and I'm sure we'll definitely chat again soon, man. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.